Regular viewers will know that we have a lot of love for NEC's PC Engine console, but you'll also know, if you've watched our videos on the system, that they weren't in fact the ones that designed it. Instead, they became the sole manufacturer and distributor for a system created by Hudson Soft. Now, this isn't such an amazing leap coming from a company called Hudson Soft to making hardware, and today we're going to take a look at a bit of hardware which just provides the missing link between Hudson from making games to providing the design for the PC Engine system. And here it is. So this here is a B card, and if we bring in Hue card, which is from the PC Engine, you can see, oh, there we go, let's get us both in picture. You can see the resemblance. Now, there are differences. There are more pins on the Hue card than there are on the B card, and if we turn them kind of side on, they're both white, so it doesn't really help, but the Hue card is quite a bit thicker than the B card, but you can definitely see the family resemblance. So okay, why was the B card created? Well, the B card was created to make things slightly cheaper and slightly less piratable for software on the MSX, mostly for Hudson, you would assume, but they did open it up to other manufacturers as well. Now, this obviously is created for the MSX, as you can see here, it literally says for MSX there, but that won't plug straight into an MSX machine. MSX has a cartridge slot after all, and not a B slot, so we need an extra piece of hardware, and that's what we have here. So this is called a B-pack. So the BP B-pack there, and this is obviously a standard MSX cartridge, but it has the B slot at the top, so we can kind of plug our B card in there, and that will now go into MSX and be playable. Now, whilst this wasn't a successful piece of hardware, well, you know, basically as it was, only 11 games were actually made for this across Japan and Europe, well, software, because they weren't all games. This is, by the way, Master Takashi's Adventure Island, which was a I want to say castle there for obvious reasons. This was a Japanese-only bit of software. It was actually still a surprisingly successful piece of hardware, as in the design of the card. So whilst we are looking at this here, which is obviously the MSX version, there are also a few offshoots of it. Atari used the B card as the memory expansion for its portfolio handheld range of computers. Korg used a variation as well for some of its synthesizers and a couple of PC based things they did, and Mitsubishi used it for a variation of an EEPROM based telephone card in Japan, which was quite extensively useful actually. None of these formats were compatible with each other, but they all are based on the B card formats. So a successful piece of hardware. So it's not surprising that when Hudson started to pull together the specs for the PC Engine, they decided to use a variation of their B card spec to make the Hue card. In terms of the MSX version, this only lasted about 2 years. It was introduced in 1984, and the last game for it was released in 1986. Again, only about 11 titles in total were ever released, so yeah, not successful in that sense. The B names, obviously B card and B pack, they come from Hudson's logo, which we can just see here, but I'll put, if I remember, a better version up somewhere. So yeah, that's where that comes from. Nice little, I kind of like that. It's kind of cute, really. Yeah. So that's the hardware. It's an interesting piece of tech. It's not the first time, or indeed the last time this has kind of happened. There are lots of versions of manufacturers making cartridges that allow other types of cartridges to run. The SNES, Bandai did it on the SNES a few times, and the NES as well, obviously. But I think it's still quite an interesting one, especially with the link to what Hudson, I feel, was more successful for, which is the PC Engine. Yeah, you actually got a little bit of look at the logo on the back there. Right, well, I have not tried to boot this up on my MSX yet. I don't know if this cartridge works. I don't know if this works, so I guess we'll just go and give it a try. If there's no footage here, I'll explain why, but you'll probably guess. See you in a bit. Okay, we're going to plug this into our rather lovely Hitachi MBH50. I'd say ignore the mess, but anyone that's watched my channel long enough knows this is pretty normal. So first of all, we're going to plug the cartridge in, and we'll plug in the B card. And there we go. So I guess then all we have to do now is try turning this on. What's this? Pretty sure we should have more than that. Okay, well let's just try reseating the card. Let's try putting it into port 2. Sometimes you never know. Okay, let's try turning that on again. Still doesn't feel like there's much going on there. Oh, something's trying to happen though. Alright, I suspect that this is not working. There's so many things that could potentially be wrong. Oh! We have a game! Hooray! Oh, look at that! It's... Oh, this looks like Wonder Boy. Is this another name for Wonder Boy? I think I should probably know that, but I don't. It is! This is Wonder Boy! Amazing! Okay, well, it worked! Yay! And we have what looks like a... Oh, what a really good version of Wonder Boy, which is... makes me kind of happy. Right! Let's get this video finished. So there we have it, the B pack and the B card from Hudson, which is kind of this little missing link between their days before the PC Engine and the PC Engine onwards. It's a fascinating piece of hardware. I'm going to try and get some more of those cards, but they are slightly difficult to get hold of. Not too expensive when you do find them, but they're just hard to find. There's one called Jet Set Willy, which obviously I definitely want to get hold of. But yeah, that's a version of Wonder Boy as well, which is a game I do love on the Sega's platform, so it'll be interesting to play that a bit more as well, which I absolutely will do. Right! If you like the video, please hit like. If you really like the video, please hit subscribe. If you didn't like the video or you have something else to say, then please leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can be told when we release new videos. See you next time.
The present is horrible. The future looks bleak. Remember our childhood to get us through the week. We're getting re-enthused. Back to the past and the things we used. We all know that our pasts were great, escaping the things that today we hate. Getting re-enthused, getting re-enthused, getting re-enthused, getting re-enthused.